Hey, welcome to Cup of Joe with Anna and Sheila. I'm Anna.
I'm Sheila. Hi.
And we are not professionals.
Obviously.
No. So today but we're very nimble and flexible.
We are. We're like Gumby.
We had a little, and we show our age by making comments like that. So,
hey, bird lady.
No, you're the bird lady. You're the bird lady. So at some point for our viewers who are regular viewers, they will understand that comment. But at some point in your lifespan, when you have a little bit of time on your hands, it seems like you start researching birds. As Sheila, who was a retired nurse, can tell us, we were actually canvassing. What were we doing? Oh no, we were curing.
Ballot curing.
We were curing, and we were in this neighborhood with all these very strange street names. And Sheila pointed out that they were birds, and then I pointed out that she's the only person who would know that because she's retired and has time.
I knew it before I was retired.
Well, it's even worse, Sheila.
Well, we lived behind a park, and we had bird feeders. Mm-hmm. Just because the people we bought the house from had left us like 30 bird feeders, so we fed them and the squirrels. And
on your mug,
we want a book. I know.
Yeah.
Attempted murder.
Yeah, we didn't plan this because we're not professionals. We didn't plan.
We're never professionals.
This little tit for tat type of thing. But Sheila,
that is a bird. Tufted titmouse.
Oh my God! See.
And the blue-footed booby.
Oh, my goodness. But Sheila, you made a comment when you saw me this morning. What was that comment?
That you had lipstick on?
That's right, because now we don't have a mask mandate. So I decided to put my lipstick on.
Ooh.
It's very difficult. And I have this new lipstick for our viewers out there. It's something that's supposed to last all day. My daughter gave it to me. It's like putting on gasoline.
Is it lip sense?
I don't know what
but
it is.
But you've licked half of it off.
No, it shouldn't. I have not. The whole thing is it should stay on.
Okay, we'll see.
So anyway, and then she gave me this other stuff that because it's like it stays on during a hurricane, that you have like this like oopsie thing. What are you pointing at?
Look at the camera. Don't look at me.
Oh.
You're talking to them, not me.
Okay.
Sorry, Erin.
Sorry, Erin. Although a lot of people listen
bossy.
to us via podcast, Erin, so they don't know exactly where I'm looking at. And for that matter, they can't see my lovely lipstick now that we don't have to wear masks. So that was my whole point.
I went out to dinner last night with some friends, and we were the only ones who wore our mask into the restaurant.
Well, that's the other thing. Do we really want people to think we're Republicans? That's more of horror. I mean, that to me is a whole reason to keep wearing the mask.
But now the Republicans are saying that you have to wear a mask because people who are vaccinated shed things that prevent women from being fertile.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's that whole school in Miami
who said, I did see that.
You can't have a vaccination and be a school teacher because it'll throw off the periods of everybody here and make people infertile.
Oh my.
And it was an OBGYN who heads up the school, which...
That is true. It is a school in Miami, believe it or not. Yeah, that's a true thing. And yes, it happens only here in Florida.
But the best is if anybody watched Late Night with Stephen Colbert last night.
You're supposed to look at the camera, Sheila.
He talked about how COVID makes your dong go.
Well, they've been saying that for a long time.
Makes you impotent if you don't have your vaccine.
That's not a new thing. And I wish that they would have promoted that a little bit more because then maybe we'd have gotten some attention from the white males.
Well, it started off with the white males in the GOP land.
Well, that's what my point. If they thought that their wangers would get smaller or not be able to wang appropriately, then maybe they would have taken this, more
It'll be a
seriously.
gherkin instead of an eggplant.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
We digress once again.
We digress once again. So what's going on in Florida? Erin's going to be very proud of me because when I woke up this morning, I usually check my emails like any ridiculous corporate person does, which is insane. Anyway, I checked my work emails and then I went over to Twitter.
Uh-oh.
So Twitter, they're saying that apparently that's where the 45 is in Palm County or Palm Beach. Palm Beach, West Palm Beach,
yes.
That they're preparing to arrest him. I know that I'm being flexible, Sheila, because the sun is ruining this picture. So anyway, that he is going to be arrested. And then
if they try to extradite him to New York, yes.
Extradited him to New York, and DeSantis is already preparing to try to stop these efforts. Now, we have heard something like this, not Palm Beach per se, but there's always been something that's like, oh, now we're really going to get him, or
it's
now.
It's been 4 years.
I know. So, but anyway, that was on the Twitter. So we shall see if it is true.
I'm just waiting for Baby Getz to get arrested.
Well, they also, after I was scrolling my Twitter feed and I saw that they were talking about that. Yes, I saw that they were talking about the fact that, now I guess whoever he was in cahoots with, against the treasurer of Seminole County in Florida, right?
Flipped on him.
So it agreed to, to cooperate. So
I'm just waiting for Rudy to flip.
Well, I don't.
Rudy's going to save his bacon.
You think?
Rudy's not going to do well in jail.
Well, I think a lot of people won't do well. I mean, the whole the Shaven's not going to do well in jail either.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah. So we digress once again.
Yes,
but we have a very special guest.
Neither
today.
did Matthew Dahmer.
That's right. He did not do well.
Too bad, so sad.
Too bad, so sad. And look at this sun. I don't know. I guess this is just a ray of shining light coming down on our podcast today.
It is.
So we forgot our webcam, so we're using the. Okay, then.
So it's just going to get smaller and smaller. Yeah, we are so non-professionals. It's not even funny.
So we have a special guest today, Matthew Womack. Do you want to introduce him?
Michael.
Oh,
sorry. There is a group in Florida called Equality Florida, which advocates for LGBTQ plus. I think I got them all in. I probably didn't, but okay. But it advocates for the rights of that particular group of people to be included with everybody else like they're supposed to be. Like our Constitution says, we are all created equal. Unfortunately, the Republicans in Tallahassee did not view that this year and had some pretty nasty things to say about the transgender community, which to me is just stupid. They're humans just like the rest of us, and we embrace them, and we include, don't know about you, but I try to include every single person I can in my sphere, and treating a group of people differently is just unacceptable.
Well, it's polarizing, and that's what they do best, right? So
right.
they take one issue and they just go places that
it used to be the bathroom, and now it's sports.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it just used to be gay, right?
Yeah,
that's all. Well, now that's been accepted, thankfully. So it's just like they try to find something that people don't understand, or there's they have some sort of preconceived notion, and just to polarize the whole nation, which is ridiculous. But anyway,
it's all for a vote.
That's all for a vote. Without further ado, let's add Michael Womack.
Hi, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So we apologize for our camera here.
No worries. It's like the Lord is coming down and shining upon you.
Oh, no, that's worse.
That's right. No, I think it's great. But yeah, so we could turn it around, but let's just continue. You can hear us, right? So that's all that really matters.
Okay, we'll just squish down really well.
We'll squish down like this.
So I had to look up this Trump indictment thing. I hadn't even heard about this yet. That's crazy.
Well, Michael, you heard it here first on Cup of Joe. For that kind of news organization.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a law in Florida that says if somebody's indicted in a different state, that the governor has no control over extradition. And so there's an open session on Monday. I think they're doing the gambling bill on Monday.
Yep.
And the rumor is that DeSantis is going to try to have somebody introduce a piece of legislation attached to the gambling bill that would allow him to prevent extradition of Trump.
Strange. That's crazy. We'll see, I guess, how it plays out. It seems like if he is guilty of any crimes, certainly they'll find a way to get him back to New York. I don't know.
One can only hope.
I hope so.
I've had so much hope when I see things like this, and not in the Twitter, but in other places, that I get really excited. But I don't know. I am managing my expectations.
We need an umbrella.
We do need an umbrella, or we could just turn it around. But, oh well.
So
tell us. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about your organization. We're really excited to have you on today.
Sure. So I'm the communications manager at Equality Florida, and Equality Florida is the largest LGBT civil rights organization in the state. So we are an advocacy organization. We are not a direct service organization, and we fight hard for good policy across the state that's inclusive of LGBT people. So that's what we do. And
Excellent.
I manage the communications department, and I'm based in Tampa. I'm local, super involved in lefty politics, and excited to be on with you today.
Well, we're excited to have you. So what random things have happened this year in the legislature that makes you kind of not too happy with them?
Well, That's a great question. I think most of our attention has been focused on them pushing this trans sports ban. It was I think the idea is that
Better.
GOP leadership decided that this was a priority this year, and they pushed hard for it. We at one point thought that we had killed the bill in committee, and they resurrected it at the last minute, attaching it to a completely unrelated bill, and we're able to push it through both chambers. So right now we're waiting for this thing to go to the governor's desk, and hopefully he vetoes it. I think that we know that that's probably not likely, but that's sort of where we're at. But one thing that sort of gives me hope is this is all backlash. This is all related to LGBT people.
This was not planned.
Very, you know what? Very gay. Very gay.
I totally did not. This is the only one that I have. We had some problem with the sun, and so Aaron went out to get an umbrella. I mean, this is perfect. I promise this was not scripted.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate your inclusive umbrella.
I know, right?
So this is all related to the fact that we keep winning. We win at the ballot box. We win, public opinion. We win. LGBT people are our friends. They're our neighbors. They're our family. And I think that there's a huge tide of people that know that this is inevitable at some point, and so the GOP is lashing out. It's a party that is desperately trying to stay relevant and unfortunately how that manifested itself this year is attacking young people, young trans people in sports. So I could get into the weeds and talk about that issue all day long, but it's really unfortunate because this is the most vulnerable probable population in this state is young trans people, most at risk for violence, abuse, suicide, you name it. And our state legislature is now bullying them as well. So,
well, I have two family members who are trans high school students, high school, college. And every time I see a bill like this, I just get a pit in my stomach that it's going to impact them as well. They live in different states, but it baffles me the volume of hate against a group of kids who just want to play sports.
Right.
So, Michael, what kind of can you get that? Okay. How can those who are? I mean, what are you guys doing to counter these effects, or what can people get involved in or support to make our voice heard in the Florida legislature or nationally? What kind of programs can we get involved in? What can we donate to? What can we educate our audience as to how they can get involved?
Yeah, well, I actually appreciate you have our website listed below because that's a great place to start. We have a number of advocacy actions that people can take regarding the trans sports ban. Feel free to click around and see the other issue areas that we work in as well. Right now, we're asking people to call the governor, email the governor, say veto this horrific bill. So that's a lot of our focus now. Our plan is also, in the event that he does sign this bill, to raise hell, and our plan is to host a number of rallies across the state and really, bring our community together in a COVID safe. Of course, that's updated day to day now, but in a COVID safe way, and just raise hell basically. So.
And so will these rallies be promoted on this website, or how can we learn about where and when and what to bring and
not to get
run over
right
and
now,
things like that? Yeah.
The plan right now, and unfortunately we don't know when he's going to sign this bill, so that makes the timing difficult. The plan right now is to host a rally at 6 p.m. on the day that he signs the bill. So the idea is that he likely will sign it in the morning in the next week and a half. And we are ready to stand up and make our voices heard and everything else. One of the things we just did as well is We had over 100 elected officials. I think we're around 130 now, have signed on to a letter that is basically standing up and saying this is a bad idea. Veto this bill. We're in support of trans kids. So mayors, congresspeople, local elected officials across the state have signed on, and that is on our website as well.
Good.
So we can, stay tuned to that, and we can also put that on our feeds and our social media when that happens. We'll coordinate with your organizations to know when and where we should meet. So people here out in Hillsborough County can get involved, because we have a lot of, most of us are suburban moms, and we have children and loved ones that would be impacted by this bill. So I think that would generate a lot of interest.
We have a lot of flags too.
We do have a lot of flags here, yes, and umbrellas.
Yeah.
So we could bring
and umbrellas.
those.
That's what I was going to say.
We did a lot of car rallies this fall for candidates, and we had probably every flag that we could buy off of Amazon. And to see the rainbow flag flying next to an American flag really kind of irked some of our neighbors.
Well, right. But I mean, we do have a lot of support here. We have the trans
tons
flag.
of support. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the more that people come out and support it, I think that we can definitely trump those who are not supportive and just don't understand, right? Because I think there's just a lot of ignorance, and tuning into a different radio station or TV station that just doesn't give you the full facts, or does fear mongering. So we encourage those that that may have a child or a family member, or really
somebody who's compassionate,
right, or understand what this is, right, to come out and support it, because I do think really that we have more of us than them. It's just a matter of being courageous enough to step out and support it.
But I think it's also, what I'm realizing more and more is, specifically with these trans sports bans, it's a public. We need to be forthcoming with more information. We need to educate the public more on this issue, and get people in alignment in that way, because I think it's confusing to a lot of people.
Sorry, I had a cat just jump on the umbrella.
We have, yeah.
On that note, you do have a political action committee, correct? As part of your offshoot. How many candidates did you think you endorsed last cycle?
I want to say it was probably between 150 and 200 across the state.
That actually makes me feel good that there were that many that you could support.
Yeah, it's a long and hard process. They interview candidates. We have questionnaires, and our team that works on that side does an amazing job. Vetting these people and making sure that they're in alignment on our issues. We also endorsed on the. Okay, so I'm thinking about the different designations. Equality Florida Action Incorporated, separate from the PAC, was able to make a federal endorsement this year. So we did endorse the president and vice president, as well as a number of congressional candidates. So
that's great.
That was new to all of us, and we were so excited to do it. We sent out direct mail to our supporters, and by the end of it, we had turned out. So we have a database of people that we look at as pro-equality voters, meaning if equality issues are on the ballot, they will get out and vote. So it's our job to message to them and talk to them and say, hey, this is an election year. You have to come out and support the LGBT community this year. So we had 100,000 people that were on that list that did not vote in 2016 that did vote in 2020.
Wow.
And I think we spent about $1 million getting there, but we did. Of course, Florida didn't swing the right way, but we delivered our people.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Flip Florida blue in 22. That's our
2022.
2022.
Yep.
So Michael, thank you so much for coming on. Maybe if we're happy to have a remote Joe to go when those rallies occur, to encourage people to know that, remote Joe means it's not planned. We just do like something live.
Just show up.
Show up, and we'll try to, market that and promote that to all the people around here. Because there is, believe it or not, in this part of Hillsborough County, you do have a lot of support.
Yeah.
And it's mostly because of the parents who see this and see how their children will be damaged by this bill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love Hillsborough County.
Yeah.
My
Yay.
favorite place.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, and sorry for all of
Yes,
the
apologies for the.
we had a cat
No,
jump
I
on the
appreciate your
umbrella.
umbrella.
And it's sort of embarrassing because you're a communication director, and this is like you can use this video as to what not to do, or maybe how to be prepared for what could happen when we're trying to be outside and be socially distant. So,
There
Michael,
you go.
thank you
There
thank
so
you
much.
so much.
We appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Have a great
Appreciate
day.
it. All right.
Bye. All right. Well, I appreciate that. That was. I mean, he was such
The
a
fact that he
sport.
did not laugh.
I
when
know
we
what
had-
a professional he is.
I know. We should learn from him.
We should. We just can't do it.
Maybe he can
He's
teach
just,
us.
Maybe he's just so professional and just so polished. And here
Meanwhile,
we
I'm holding
are.
an umbrella
I know. Here we are with umbrella things. It's all broken and cats going all over the place.
because
I mean,
Joe bit it.
I know.
I know.
So anyway, well, thanks everyone. Tune in next time. Who are we having?
That's mine.
That's yours.
It's actually Joe's because he stuck his head and drank out of it.
Oh, we did. Great. So
Yeah.
who do we have next time, Erin?
No, we have Alan Ellison with next.
That's 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, we have Alan Ellison. He finally responded to us. So we
Yes, and I'm
look forward to
excited.
that.
I had a good conversation with his communication director.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Don't what?
Jamil Davis.
And don't show the communications director this sample because we're like, who are these people? Anyway,
Jamil Davis from Black Voters Matter.
cool.
Which will be a good follow-up from the one from our
Excellent.
communications director.
Excellent.
Yes. So we're excited. To Ruth.
To Ruth. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.